We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. BJP-led National Democratic Alliance wins world's largest elections with 292 seats. Opposition alliance India bags 233 seats in India's parliamentary election. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails people's verdict, calls the third consecutive term for any government in 6 decades a historical feat in India's history. NDA romps home in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh state polls also. Prime Minister hits the ground running, sets the tone for the third term of NDA, assures that economic reforms will continue unabated. World leaders congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general election for the third time in a row. An Indian cricket team will kick off their T20 World Cup campaign against Minos Island on Wednesday. Well, on to the details now. The Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance, or the NDA, is ready to serve the nation for a third consecutive term with a historic win in the general elections. BJP-led NDA won 292 seats, while the Indy Alliance got 233 seats. 18 seats went to others. A party or a coalition needs at least 272 of the 543 seats to be in power at the centre. Counting of votes was held on Tuesday for 542 seats, while BJP has already won Surat constituency unopposed. And after achieving resounding victory in general elections, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed confidence that NDA will form the government for a third consecutive term and said he will take big decisions in third term while striking hard against corruption. He was addressing his party workers at the BJP headquarters in New Delhi.
डिजिटल इंडिया और टेक्नोलॉजी ने करप्शन के अनेक रास्ते बंद किए हैं, लेकिन ये भी सच है कि करप्शन के खिलाफ लड़ाई दिनों दिन कठिन हो रही है। राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए जब करप्शन का महिमा मंडन शुरू हो जाए और इसमें निर्लज्जता की सारी हदें पार हो जाए, तब करप्शन को बहुत ताकत मिल जाती है। इसलिए तीसरे कार्यकाल में एनडीए सरकार का बहुत ज्यादा जोर हर तरह के करप्शन को जड़ से उखाड़ फेंकने का होगा।
Also, Prime Minister thanked his fellow countrymen and Election Commission of India for the successful elections in the world's largest democracy. While thanking BJP workers for their sweat and hard work, PM said this inspires him to work for the country and many big decisions will be taken in the third term.
मैं देश के कोने कोने में उपस्थित बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं को कहूंगा, आपकी मेहनत मोदी को निरंतर काम करने की प्रेरणा देता है। हम भारतीय मिलकर चलेंगे, देश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश बड़े फैसलों का एक नया अध्याय लिखेगा और ये मोदी की गारंटी है।
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed party workers at the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters after NDA won in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Talking about the next era, the Prime Minister that India will emerge as the third largest economy.
आने वाला समय ग्रीन एरा है, हरित युग का है। आज भी हमारी सरकार की नीतियां प्रगति, प्रकृति और संस्कृति के समागम की है। हम ग्रीन इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन पर निवेश बढ़ाएंगे। ग्रीन एनर्जी हो या फिर ग्रीन मोबिलिटी, हम भारत को सबसे आगे ले जाएंगे। भारत को दुनिया की तीसरी बड़ी इकोनॉमी बनाने के लिए एनडीए सरकार पूरी शक्ति से काम करेगी।
And in southern India's Andhra Pradesh, the Telugu Desam party led by Chandrababu Naidu achieved a decisive victory on Tuesday in the state assembly elections held concurrently with India's parliamentary elections. Naidu is poised to become the state chief minister for the fourth time. Here's a report.
Celebrations began at Telugu Desam Party offices across Andhra Pradesh on Tuesday as the party chief Chandrababu Naidu is well set to make a comeback as the chief minister. The party has contested polls in alliance with Janasena and Bharatiya Janata Party. The TDP-led coalition surpassed 150 seats in 175 assembly constituencies. With a commanding lead at over 130 assembly constituencies, the TDP is poised to form the government.
It's a landslide victory for the Telugu people and also our party in Andhra Pradesh. The people has given one-sided victory to the Telugu Desam and has given a mandate against the unruly mob and unruly destruction made by Jagan Mohan Reddy.
Party announced that Naidu will take oath as the chief minister on June 9. Additionally, the TDP allies, the Janasena party led by actor-politician Pawan Kalyan, got 21 seats in their kitty, with the BJP gaining victory in 8 seats. Incumbent YSR Congress party could only manage to reach 10 seats. Andhra Pradesh went to polls to elect the 175-member state assembly besides 25 Lok Sabha seats in the general elections in a single phase on May 13th. Bureau Report, DD India.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked the people of Andhra Pradesh for the exceptional mandate to National Democratic Alliance. PM also congratulated Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan Garu for the victory. Taking to social media platform X, PM wrote, and I quote, Andhra Pradesh has given an exceptional mandate to NDA. I thank the people of the state for their blessings. I congratulate N. Chandrababu Naidu, Garu, Pawan Kalyan Garu and the workers of Telugu Desam Party, Janasena Party and BJP Andhra for this emphatic victory. We will work for the all-round progress of Andhra Pradesh and ensure the state prospers in the times to come. Unquote. And in Odisha's assembly election, the Bharatiya Janata Party crossed the halfway mark, leading to a tidal change unseen for years. With staggering numbers and a shift in the power tide, the Biju Janata Dal faces a daunting ride and shrinks down to 49 from 113.
The Bharatiya Janata Party is poised to become the largest party in Odisha's assembly elections, signalling a significant shift in the state's political landscape. The result indicates that the BJP is set to secure a majority in the state assembly, ousting the ruling Biju Janata Dal and potentially altering the leadership in the state after nearly a quarter century.
उड़ीसा में लोग ये जो सरकार यहाँ चल रहा है इससे त्रस्त थे, इससे मुक्ति पाना चाहते थे और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता जी जान लगा के उड़ीसा में काम किए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का उड़ीसा आना, हर एरिया को दौरा करना आज ये रंग लाने की स्थिति में आके पहुंचा हुआ है।
BJP has crossed the halfway mark in Odisha. The Biju Janata Dal is at 49 seats, down from 113. Congress leads over a dozen seats. Odisha has in total 147 assembly constituencies. The potential shift in power holds profound implications, particularly for Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, who has held office since 2000.
Well, as the BJP won 48 seats and is leading in 30 of the 147-seat Assembly constituency in India's Odisha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked the people of the state. He wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "Thank you, Odisha. It's a resounding victory for good governance and celebrating Odisha's unique culture. BJP will leave no stone unturned in fulfilling the dreams of people and taking Odisha to new heights of progress. I'm very proud of all our hard-working party Karyakartas for their efforts," unquote. And world leaders also congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general election for the third time in a row. Maldives President congratulates Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP and BJP-led NDA on the success in the 2024 Indian general election for the third consecutive term. "I look forward to working together to advance our shared interest in pursuit of shared prosperity and stability for our two countries," he said. Also, Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe congratulated PM Modi and expressed a desire to work closely with him. Nepal Prime Minister Prachanda congratulated PM Modi on the electoral success of his party-led alliance. Expressed happiness over the completion of the world's largest democratic exercise. Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Togbe also congratulated Modi and NDA for the historic third consecutive win. He expressed eagerness to work closely to further strengthen the relations between the two countries. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi for winning a third term in office. She expressed her commitment to work closely with the Indian government to strengthen the relationship between Italy and India. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. US President Joe Biden announced new asylum restrictions on migrants caught illegally crossing the US-Mexico border. US House passes bill to sanction International Criminal Court over its prosecutor's decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials on Gaza conflict. And new banknotes in the UK feature King Charles on British currency.
Welcome to Chandigarh.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and on to some business news. The results of general elections caused chaos in the Indian markets. Indian benchmark stock indices Sensex and Nifty plunged by nearly 6% on Tuesday, reversing its Monday's sharp gains of over 3%. The BSE Sensex nosedived 5.74% to close at a more than two-month low of 72,079.05. In a day trade, the barometer tanked 8.15% to hit a nearly nearly 5-month low level. The NSE Nifty tumbled 8.52% during the day. Later, it ended at 21,884.50, a sharp decline of 5.93%. This is the biggest single-day landslide downfall in the history of the stock market so far. Sensex and Nifty had previously declined by around 13% on March 23, 2020, when lockdown was imposed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already made it clear that economic reforms will continue and the third term of his government will witness big decisions. And humbly accepting the public opinion, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge on Tuesday stated that the results of general election are the victory of democracy.
ये जो रिजल्ट है जनता की रिजल्ट है और ये जनता की जीत है और लोकतंत्र की जीत है.
And while addressing a press conference, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi emphasized on how the people of India will stand together and fight for their constitution. Ironically, this proclamation came at a time when his own party has often been accused of internal rifts and factionalism. Listen in.
हिंदुस्तान की जनता अपने संविधान के लिए एक साथ खड़ी होकर लड़ जाएगी और यह सच साबित हुआ. मुझ में भरोसा था और मैं हिंदुस्तान की जनता से दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं. आपने संविधान को बचाने का पहला और सबसे बड़ा कदम ले लिया है.
While following Prime Minister Narendra Modi's election to the office for a third term, sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik congratulated the PM in his unique way. He created a sand art at Odisha's Puri which says, "Congratulations, Modi ji." Moving on, US President Joe Biden announced new restrictions on Tuesday to deny the chance to claim asylum to migrants caught illegally crossing the US-Mexico border who could be quickly deported or turned back to Mexico. The new measures will take effect immediately and will have exceptions for unaccompanied children, people who face serious medical or safety threats, and victims of trafficking. Biden, a Democrat, has toughened his approach to border security as immigration has emerged as a top issue for Americans in the run-up to November 5 elections, where he will face Republican Donald Trump, who has vowed a wide-ranging crackdown if re-elected. And the Republican-led U.S. House of Representatives passed a legislation that would impose sanctions on the International Criminal Court over its prosecutors' decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials on Gaza conflict. The vote for 247 to 155, with 42 Democrats joining Republicans in backing the measure. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of U.S. allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of U.S. allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. It also would block such ICC officials' entry to the United States, revoke any U.S. visas, and restrict them from U.S. property transactions. The White House last month criticized the ICC's decision to seek the warrants. And White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that the U.S. will not send military trainers to Ukraine. Sullivan, in a media briefing on Tuesday, said the U.S. president will meet Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky during his visit to France. He told reporters that the United States is not planning to send U.S. military trainers to Ukraine. Sullivan, however, said the U.S. will continue supplying weapons to Ukraine as it needs more air defenses against Russian attacks. And nearly 2 years after King Charles succeeded the late Queen Elizabeth as head of state, banknotes featuring a portrait of King Charles have entered circulation in Britain Wednesday onwards. Charles' image will appear on the new notes for 5, 10, 20 and 50 pounds issued by the Bank of England. Existing notes featuring Elizabeth will continue to circulate. Elizabeth was the first monarch to feature on British banknotes, in contrast to coins in England, which have carried images of kings and queens for more than 1,000 years. And Bolivian truck drivers blocked the Bolivia's El Alto highway, protesting dollar shortages and fuel scarcity, leaving hundreds of trucks stranded. Bolivia's driver sector announced a 48-hour road blockage, demanding a consistent supply of diesel and a regular flow of dollars. Bolivia has suffered from a lack of dollar liquidity since the beginning of 2023. And WHO highlighted that environmental degradation, such as air and water pollution, directly contributes to a range of health issues, including respiratory diseases. The authorities also claim that this could trigger abrupt and irreversible impacts which would endanger humanity and nature overall. And in sports, Team India will open the T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland in New York on Wednesday. Rohit Sharma will once again lead the Indian side after he led the team in the T20 World Cup 2022 and the ODI World Cup 2023. Not being able to win the finals of ICC tournaments has been a major problem for the men in blue. The BCCI has chosen a balanced Indian squad that has enough depth in batting and bowling. The major concern, though, is with the recent form of a few players. Both teams have played just one warm-up game each coming into the match, while India secured a convincing win over Bangladesh. Ireland was defeated by Sri Lanka. Fortunately, both teams are free of injury issues, though fatigue could be a factor for some Indian players following the lengthy IPL 2024 season that concluded just a week ago. India boasts a perfect 7-0 record against Ireland, with their last encounter in 2023 ending in a 2-0 victory for India. The match is scheduled to start at 8 p.m. IST. And world number 9, Ons Jabeur, has questioned the scheduling at the French Open on Tuesday following her quarter-final exit from the tournament. The Tunisian started brightly on court Philippe Chatrier but faded as her match against American Coco Gauff wore off, with the third seed claiming a 4-6, 6-2, 6-3 victory. Jabeur said she would have loved to play the match at night rather than the morning and suggested the tournament should start the night session earlier to avoid the early morning finishes that have become a contentious issue with players at Roland Garros. Jabeur, a 2-time Wimbledon finalist, will now switch her focus to the upcoming grass season, while Gauff will go on to play world number 1 Iga Swiatek in the semi-finals. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world in the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
Welcome to Jaipur.